Hello friends and welcome to LeggLife, and you probably already noticed that this video a little bit different than most of our LeggLife videos because it's just me, no Sherri in this one. And that is because in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you what I think might be one of the best kept secrets and one of the newest emerging pro tips when it comes to booking cruise excursions. I think you guys are really going to like this. Now, maybe you're not a cruiser, maybe you don't even know what the heck an excursion is. Well, basically an excursion is what you do when your cruise ship is in a certain port. So let's say you're on a cruise ship and you pull into beautiful Mazatlan, Mexico. And now the question is, what the heck do I do in beautiful Mazatlan, Mexico? Most cruise lines actually have a set number of shore excursions that you could book in advance, right? And honestly, those excursions are varied. It can be anything from like swimming with dolphins to snorkeling to jet ski rentals to more like culinary and cultural experiences, things like cultural walks or cooking classes or paint classes, art kind of things. So really there are a ton of options. But honestly, sometimes excursions can be, number one, very expensive, especially if you're booking through your cruise line. Number two, sometimes they don't feel very personalized or custom for yourself or for your group. Because remember, sometimes there are thousands of people on your cruise ship and there could be dozens of people on some of these excursions. And so you're kind of just with a group along for the ride sometimes. But I think what I'm going to share with you today is, in my opinion, and this is not new, but I haven't heard a ton of talk about using this when it comes to shore excursions. And honestly, to me, it kind of is a bit of a game changer. Now, what I'm talking about is Airbnb Experiences. Many of you are familiar with Airbnb. We've talked about it a lot here on our channel. It is what Sherri and I primarily use when we travel for lodging. We either stay in hotels or Airbnb, and we love, love, love Airbnb, and we've talked about why in past videos. But recently Airbnb launched something called Airbnb Experiences. Now let me explain how this works. If you're familiar with Airbnb, basically people can rent whatever space they have. Sometimes it's entire houses, sometimes it's like a guest room, sometimes it's a tent space in the backyard, right? People rent whatever they have. And Airbnb Experiences is actually kind of similar because it allows people to offer whatever kind of experience they want in their city. So here's how it could work. You guys know Sherri and I live in Anchorage, Alaska, and we absolutely love Alaska. We talk a ton here on our channel about how much we love our state. So imagine a cruise ship comes here to Anchorage, the town we live in, and I, as a resident of Anchorage, say, you know what? I want to share my love for Alaska with people. I'm going to offer an Airbnb experience that's like a 4-hour tour of Anchorage with a real Alaskan, right? And so like I load them up in our Jeep and I take them around town and I show them the things that maybe they wouldn't get to see otherwise. I give them sort of an Alaskan experience through the eyes of a real Alaskan. And that is how Airbnb Experiences work. So think of all of the skills that people in your town have. Think of the painters, the chefs, the people who just like love to show off where they live, the coffee fans, the beer fans, the food fans. This allows you to kind of create a custom experience wherever you are and essentially offer that to anybody looking through Airbnb. Now, a lot of you guys know that Sherri and I are actually going on a super secret trip next month. And the place we're going, we're not telling you. However, it definitely is like a tourist location. And so a couple days ago, Sherri and I went on Airbnb Experiences just to look and see what kind of stuff was offered where we're going. And you guys, we were blown away by a couple things. Number one, how incredibly affordable so many of these options are. Now, I think that we had cruise excursion prices in our head when we went to Airbnb Experiences, but the prices that we saw were not that at all. Now, obviously they varied a lot based on like length and what the experience was, but there were definitely things that we could do that we really wanted to do for really, really affordable prices. And also one of the things that we noticed, because most of the times this is individuals offering this stuff, not like tour companies, we saw a lot of them were like limited to like 2, 4, 6, 8 people. So it was like smaller, more customized groups. And so we've actually started looking at future cruises we have and ports that we're gonna be in at what excursions are offered through Airbnb Experiences. And holy cow, I don't want to say that we would never book an excursion through our cruise line again, because obviously we totally would. However, I guarantee before we book an excursion through our cruise line in any port we go to, I will be going to Airbnb Experiences first. Because honestly, I think a lot of times you can find a wider variety of options for a better price, smaller groups, and honestly, like, that just sounds amazing to me. Now, there are a couple of downsides to this, and I actually want to talk about those because I want to be totally honest about this. And I think one of the biggest downsides is that when you book an excursion through the cruise line you're sailing with, there's something that you get that no other option provides. And that's peace of mind. I have heard horror stories about people who are like, you know what, we'll just book like a third-party excursion. And then something goes wrong, the cruise line doesn't know where they are or what they're out doing, and the ship leaves without them. Oh my gosh, that is like my nightmare. But when you book an excursion through your cruise line, like when Sherri and I booked the wine tour in Mexico through Disney, we knew that if our bus broke down, Disney was probably going to wait for us, right? Because we booked this through Disney, it was like an official Disney thing. So there is a level of peace of mind that you get when you book through your cruise line that you don't get if you book third party or through something like Airbnb Experiences. So I would say that if you are booking that way, give yourself plenty of time, because obviously, hopefully nothing goes wrong, but if it does, you don't want to be stranded. And then really the only other negative that I can kind of see when it comes to something like Airbnb Experiences, again, when I book an excursion through Disney, I know that that is a company that has been like vetted, right? That like Disney has done their homework on it, and so the experience is going to be excellent. That's not necessarily the case with Airbnb Experiences. Now, in some ways, this is just like booking a place to stay through Airbnb, right? You have to kind of do your homework, so you have to go through and read all the reviews. Is this legit? Do they have a lot of reviews? Do they have a good track record of providing what they say they will? And if the answer is yes, then I think you have a pretty great shot at having a pretty great experience. However, I did see one experience in the location that we're going for our super secret vacation, and it was an experience that a mom and a daughter booked together, and it was like, they gave them like a 1-star review, and it was the only review on their entire company page was a 1-star. She said, you know, we showed up for this class, we were so excited, my daughter and I, the instructor never showed up, and like we never got to have this experience, and we're so disappointed. Oh, that's like a heartbreaking. So with Airbnb, you do have to do your homework. Like you are responsible for kind of verifying, whereas when you book an excursion through your cruise line has done all of that verification. But if I'm being honest, I actually think the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to using Airbnb Experiences, because I think you're going to get a perspective that you just don't with some excursions. I mean, this might sound kind of crazy, but I'm really convinced that Sherri and I could give somebody a perspective on Anchorage and the area of Alaska around us that would be pretty amazing and pretty unique, because we love this place, we love showing it off, we know places to take you that we love, and sometimes you just don't get that when you're on a tour bus with 40 people. So you guys, that is what we wanted to share with you, and I want to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever used Airbnb Experiences like this for cruise ship excursions? Is this something you've ever heard about or considered before? And then I actually have a challenge for you. If you have a cruise booked or even a vacation, I was actually looking in Seattle where I will be later this week. I was like, you know what? I wonder what experiences are available in Seattle. And there are some amazing ones. So if you have any trips coming up, here's my challenge. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go to Airbnb, and you guys, this is not like a brand deal sponsor. We're not working with Airbnb, I promise you. Airbnb, I would love to work with you though, so give us a call. And go check out the city or the area that you're gonna be visiting, see what kind of experiences are, see what the prices are, and then tell me, is it something after looking into it that you would use? I have a hunch a lot of you are gonna be like Sherri and I, that you're gonna look at this and say, this is a game changer. Like, this is amazing, because you guys, we're definitely using it. Now, I will say, Airbnb Experiences are not available in every port. It totally requires somebody local in the area offering an experience. So there will be some places that there's just not available. But from what I've looked, it seems like a lot of them, there actually are options available. So you guys, that is this video. I just wanted to share that kind of hidden gem with all of you, sort of expose it a little bit, because I really do think in the world of cruise excursions, this is a game changer. As always, you know we love you guys, and we will see you with the next LeggLife video.